Welcome back to Zazen Tarot Space. And today I have brought a very nice reading for you. The reading is about why were you born? What is your life purpose? This is a pick a pile reading. So let us first have our three piles ready here. The first card has chosen to slip out. Now that's a lot of cards, so we are picking this card. And from this, we're picking this as the second card. And let's pick up this as the third card. Okay. So pile number 1, pile number 2, and pile number 3. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to leave you with these three cards for a little, maybe about 30 seconds or so. One pile, one picture will say to you that I have your answers. I have the answers to why you were born. I have the answers to what your life purpose is. Whichever card calls out to you, you can watch the reading for that pile. I'll be giving the timestamps below. Okay, so I hope you have selected your pile. I can see that most of you have. And we'll start with pile number 1. I'll put the other two aside. And this I'm going to put here. Okay, we're going to start with card number 1, pile number 1. And let's start to pull out the cards for your reading. Tarot deck, please tell us about everything related to pile number 1's birth, life purpose, why has pile number 1 chosen to be born, especially the way they have. So those are your first 3 cards. And I'm going to pull out 2 cards from this deck. Please tell us more about pile number 1. Tell us about the life of pile number 1. Please give us 3 cards. and tell us about the life of pile number one. Okay, so now that we have your cards here, and now that I have the camera in place so that you can see the cards properly, let us start to pick out your cards one at a time. And pile number one, what has been the purpose of your birth? Let us see. Four of Wands, that's the first card. And over here, I see something really interesting. Unlike the usual Four of Wands, I see fumes and fire, which almost reminds me of, even though this is not an Indian deck, it almost reminds me of a mandapam where people get married, which is very interesting here because Four of Wands has its own connotations, and over here I'm seeing something completely different. So this is nice. Rebirth. Okay. I see a little baby here without clothes coming out of coming out of a gateway, and the Ace of Cups. I see how these three cards are completely relating and communicating one thought together. So uh, with the Four of Wands here, I see that you guys have something to do without, see, the prime focus of your this birth would be centered around your home, around your family, around things of the heart, about softer things of the heart. It is not so much about successes and victories. You will see that in this life, you would have continuously been thinking about your home, and many of you would be the prime focus of your life would be your marriage. It would be about stability at home, finding that comfort at home. And the biggest thing about finding that comfort at home for you, pile number one, is how to be able to love both ways, give love and receive love, overflow with love, replenish yourself and your family members with love. I also see here that this lifetime for you is about learning how to let go of the past, how to release the grievances that you may be holding against someone. You very well be feeling in this lifetime that you continuously are faced in a situation where you need to forgive people, especially the people that you love and care for, especially your friends and family. For you, it would be about letting go of the hurt because you love your people, and so that the family can stay nicely connected and together. Your life lessons seem to be centered around realizing that love is greater than the misunderstandings. Love is bigger than whatever hurdles may come up in a relationship. It is love which makes the home, it is love which makes a marriage. So, probably some of you may also feel that you need to forgive your spouse for a lot of things. I'm actually getting the feeling here that for a lot of you, people who are close to you, those people with whom you bear your souls have something to hide from you. And now that can get very challenging for you. Probably in a relationship, especially with family and friends and spouse, you feel that transparency is of utmost importance. You feel that you should be like a baby naked, and your partner or your friend or your family member should also be like that. Transparent, clear, completely open. And on the other hand, you realize that they have something to hide. So, life purpose, to realize that love is bigger than these little faults and mistakes that humans make, especially our loved ones. And that we need to be able to forgive that and allow love to flow. King of Cups, beautiful. The best quality that you have is the ability to love, the ability to deeply understand other people's emotions. You have this amazing quality where you can really look at someone and understand what they are feeling. You can empathize with people. So, what I see here is that this is greatly aiding you in this journey, this lifetime. You may already feel greatly equipped because of the love you already have in your heart to be able to deal with your life circumstances, where you are expected to learn this lesson about loving your family, forgiving your family and friends, near and dear ones. Eight of Coins. Okay. You know what? You really are a perfectionist, aren't you? You really are a stickler for things. When something needs to be a certain way, it needs to be exactly that way for you. Even if it gets difficult to handle. So, what is happening is that even though you have loads and loads of love to offer and loads of understanding, you can understand why someone did what they did. But your expectations of the standards from your family and friends is so high that you feel that if I can be completely open, transparent, sharing, caring, loving with my family and friends, then they should also be. That is where the struggle is coming in. On the one hand, you understand your people, your loved ones. But on the other hand, despite understanding what they are doing and why they are doing it, you may even understand the reason why they are doing it. You may understand the place that they are coming from. You may understand what they are feeling. You may even understand why, since they are feeling what they are feeling, they are doing exactly this that they are doing. But despite that, you feel that the level that you expect from them is so high, the standards that you expect from them is so high that you feel that, you know, that is actually, that standard that you expect is actually giving you trouble forgiving them. You expect such a high standard, and not only that, there may be times where probably you will be faced with this, and you can actually verify this by thinking back to the times when some loved one would have actually said this to you. That if out of 8 times I have done, I have been perfect 7 times out of 8. And if that one time I have erred, I have faltered, I have made a mistake, then you expect me to be able to be absolutely right 8 out of 8 times, 100% of the time. So you probably have a very high expectation of yourself and you meet that, but then you expect the same in return, which people are probably not able to give due to their own constraints. Now, universe wants to teach you that you need to understand the limitations of other people. Have you faced, if anybody is selected pile number 1, have you had such a feedback from people around you? Fighting. In fact, this card is telling us that people around you, you know, your loved ones, may sometimes be wearing an armor, shielding themselves. This is another challenge that you're facing around you. And Thunderbolt, another very challenging card. We have already seen here people may be hiding things from you, especially your loved ones. Now, this card tells us that there may be times when, at best, they challenge your ideals, your beliefs, your thoughts completely. And at worst, they lie to you. Now, these are two big challenges that you may be facing with the people in your life, with your loved ones, with your family and friends. Mind you, we are not talking about all and sundry here. We are particularly, the Four of Wands is clearly telling us that it is about friends and family. Your life is about dealing this in your close circle. The Emperor, okay, and the Four of Pentacles. And okay, the Death card. Eight of Wands. Interesting. Now, what are these cards telling us? The first thing that I see here, the first thing that catches my eye, the Four of Pentacles. You know, you may actually be faced with willful people around you. People who want to have their way. It's my way or the highway. You may actually be finding that your people may sometimes not be wanting to share things with you, which is why it becomes all the more difficult because you yourself are loving, caring, willing to share. And yet you may feel that my people are not willing to give that back to me. So this may be a big jolt for you. Also, I see that sometimes it may even be about not wanting to see. There may be times when you may be faced in life with a kind of structure that you are not comfortable with. You may also be facing problem with those people in your life who are authority figures. You may be facing challenges with those people in your life who are there for your protection. For example, fathers, bosses. Also with the Death card here, I see that your life will have repeatedly have a lot of transformations and a continuous time of needing to release, let go of things that you hold dear. Now, in this case, it may be people, things, values, or standards that you expect from people. One thing is for sure, definitely there is love in your life. It is not a loveless life at all. There is love in your life, and things could sometimes get really, really either out of hand, too fast, too speedy. People may become a little too unpredictable. Amidst these circumstances, life has given you these kinds of circumstances so that you can actually, I would say, see, it's like this, that whatever needs to be tested, those kinds of life circumstances will be given. Now, here you are continuously facing a certain kind of structure, a certain kind of rigidity is what I see here. See, because with the Ace of Cups and with the King of Cups here, I know that you are a soft, fluid, loving person. You are the kind of person who is innocent and who would bear all with their friends. But despite being so loving, some people are the kinds who are very loving, very caring, and forgiving to a fault. You are loving, caring, all that is there, but you feel that when I am like this, the other person should reciprocate. And when they do not, you have a tough time. Not only that, life is continuously putting such circumstances, such people in front of you, particularly, who will be either saying something to you which is hurtful, hurtful words, maybe lies, maybe challenging what you believe in, maybe challenging what you stand for, maybe telling you that, okay, you are loving, you are this, you are that, I am this, and that's that. So these kinds of things are there to challenge you. It's 20. So that you are able to put to good use your ability to forgive. You are able to learn how to forgive. If you are giving your best foot forward and you get it back, then there is no question of forgiveness. If you are loving and you get love back, then you will not learn forgiveness. But you are here how to learn forgiveness. Now, I'm going to take a look at this card of yours, which is the card that you had initially selected for your pick a card reading. And I'm going to read this out to you. Reject any desire to be like others. You are an incomparable, precious jewel. So that's a very motivating thought for you. In case there are times, I hope from this reading, when I see this, in case there are any times where you feel that people that you're interacting with are better off because they're able to hurt and get away with it, or they're able to be hard-hearted at times or be rash at times, whereas you are soft and you bear the brunt of that, then this is a very good thought for you. Reject any desire to be like others. You are incomparable, a precious jewel. So pile number one, that was your reading. Please do leave your comments below on as to how the reading resonated with you on all planes. Bye-bye. Okay, so pile number two, this is your card which you had selected. And let us pull out your cards. Let us put this card here for you. And let us pull out your cards. Could you please tell us everything about pile number two? Please tell us the why was pile number two, why has pile number two taken birth the way they have, and let's pull out this one, and why, what is their life purpose? Okay, this card wants to say something, it was popping out. This one, and let's pull out this one for you, pile number two. One, two, and let's shuffle again. Okay, that's a lot of cards, more than we need. This card wants to say something. Let's pull this out. Those are our cards. Let's start with the reading. So, pile number two, let's start with your reading. The first card is the Justice card. The Seven of Cups. Okay. It's interesting that the cups are in the water and, you know, he's looking at the reflection of the cups. Interesting, because cups is water element. A very unique depiction of the Seven of Cups in this deck. And the Ace of Wands. Okay, Lot of beautiful energy. Look at the energy here. Amazing. Very rejuvenating. Okay. So the first thing I see here is a certain amount of patience and a lot of character, and also a lot of energy, a lot of uh, a lot of positive energy, a lot of work energy and mental energy both. It's interesting how the three cards have come up. So the Justice card here, and the Seven of Cups and the Ace of Wands. What is your life purpose? Why have you come on planet Earth? The first thing I see here, this is about, for you, it is about the focus in this lifetime, repeatedly and continuously, will be about standing for things that you believe in. It will be about ethics and morality. That will be the focus of this lifetime for you. It will also be about being able to execute your ethics and morals, basically aligning your actions to your beliefs. You may feel that you have a certain thought, but then you're not able to immediately act upon it. There may also be, I see that they may be a test of your patience. Life may say that, okay, you have thought a thought, or you have a certain set of beliefs, and you want to act upon it immediately, but you need to have a gap between what you think and what you act. When you think and when you act, there needs to be a certain gap in between that. Have you felt that you act impulsively? Pile number 2. You are here to learn the value of patience and waiting it out. You are here because you already have your ethics and your belief systems in place. What that means for you is, see, with the Justice card here, it is about being able to do that which is right. Being able to think that which is right. Being wise. Thinking the right thoughts. Having the right set of beliefs. Having the right sense of morality. This is the first thing that you're here to learn. But some of you may already very well have accomplished this in a prior lifetime also. You may have learned and you may have experienced that you have been born with a natural tendency or a natural judgment of that which is right and that which is wrong. You were born wise, you were born mature, is what you may have been told as a child. A lot of you may actually have in this lifetime been born to be able to convert your thoughts into action. However, a huge percentage of pile 2, what I see for you is that these two things are already in place. You think right, you have your moralities and ethics in place, and you know how to act well upon those, how to act in accordance with what you believe. Some people are not able to distinguish between right and wrong. You are not one of those. Some people are able to distinguish between right and wrong, but they are not able to do the right thing. You are not one of those either. Then what are you here to learn? Why have you taken this birth? You are here to learn that when you think of something and when you act upon it, there needs to be a certain pause between that. Have you ever been accused of being impulsive? Pile number 2. Please do comment below. Have you ever been accused of being impatient? Not wanting to think of the consequences of your thoughts converting into actions. Because when we think of something and we act upon it immediately, without thinking of the repercussions, we may actually cause harm. Have you ever been accused of such a thing? For what reason? Impatient for what reason? For what reason have you been accused of being impatient? You are definitely here to learn the value of patience this lifetime. You are also here this lifetime, pile number 2, to understand that things take time and you need to give them time. That emotions are interesting, but you cannot overindulge in emotions. You seem to be the kind of people who are very active in terms of all three things, all three levels: active in thought, active in emotions, and active in uh, karma or work or action. So that's exactly what we are discussing here, that the moment we think of something, there needs to be a pause before the action happens. Let us look at your other cards. 3 of Swords. And this is a strange card to pop up in this reading, because there is heartache, there is pain, there are shadows from the past, hidden shadows. There is stress, there is tension, there is negativity, there could be blood. And the 4 of Cups. The 4 of Cups here clearly is telling us, see, this is about, again, we see cups here, we see cups here. This person is looking at the cups, this person is looking at the cups. You have as a person, pile number 2, you must have experienced that as a child, you naturally were impatient. You were born with that. And that is a challenge that uh, you will feel it's a hindrance at every step for you. Now, the interesting thing here is that a negative card has come up here, the Three of Swords. Very interesting. Now, what it is telling us is that your prior heartache, your prior experiences with people is gradually making you, or even your prior miscommunications, your prior either inability to understand people or having been misunderstood by people is actually helping you to gain patience this lifetime. It may actually even be helping you to be better in terms of your communication and better in terms of how you act upon what you think. New vision and suppression. Okay. Okay. Knight of Pentacles. And Five of Swords. The Sun card. Daughter of Swords. That's a lot of court cards suddenly. And that's a lot of swords. Okay, that's another Five of Swords. So I see 2 to 5 of Swords here. I see a lot of communication issues here. I also see a lot of uh, speedy developments. Okay. The one thing that I see here with this card is that people around you have a tendency to not completely express what they're thinking. Or else you may be uh, continuously faced with people who have their own perspective on things. In terms of your life circumstances, what I see here is there are things which are facilitating your learning the lessons you are here to learn this lifetime. You may have actually have had a lot of experiences with miscommunication, wherein now, because of which you are learning how to gradually communicate effectively and learn the emphasis of right communication. You're also learning that what you think and what you say, when it translates into your actions, you are still, uh, there is still something which is getting lost in terms of communication. Even though you would be faced with good, happy life circumstances, I see a lot of possibility of deception, a lot of possibility of immaturity in people around you. And in the end, let's take a look at this card, which is the last card for you. Don't push or grasp for what you want. Hmm. Let life come to you. Flow through you. Don't push or grasp for what you want. So we see a flow of the similar thought here again, that when we want to translate our thoughts to action, we should not get impatient and push for things. That's pretty much the same thing that this card is saying. Allow life to flow at its own pace. So, pile number two, that was your reading. And pile number three, that's your card. I know some of you had commented that you have selected pile number three. I hope you guys are here. Let us look at, please, cards, tell us what pile number three has as their life purpose. What has pile number three taken birth for? What is their life purpose? This card wants to say something. This card also wants to say something. So that's three cards. Okay. Hmm? Your cards seem to be wanting to pop out by themselves. Pile number three. Okay. So these are your cards. Ace of Wands. Strength card. And the Seven of Cups. Okay. Eh, Pile number 3. What is your life purpose? Why were you born? You were born to learn how to be strong. You were born to learn how to have the fiery energy within you. You were born to learn how to reach heights and stand strong on heights. You were born to learn how to tame your inner beast. So, this life for you is about finding your inner light. It is a lot about finding the fire within and then knowing how to control it. You definitely have a lot of energy inside, a lot of fire within. You are a very creative person also. You are here to learn. Actually, you know what? It's interesting that there's a beast here and there's a beast here, and they're very similar actually. It almost feels as though, you know, if you see here, it's like the energy of the beast is literally, uh, the energy of the beast is completely wild and untamed and free. And here, probably you came with an energy which was really, really raw. Maybe you did not, as a child, understand sometimes, or oftentimes for that matter, how to control your passions, control your temper, control your desires. Having all of these is human, but being in command of all these is what character is all about. And you may have experienced in this life that life keeps presenting you with opportunities where you are continuously faced with your inner beast, inner passions, inner drives, so that life teaches you how to be on top of that desire. Not only that, I again see how to find a delay in gratification is another lesson for you this lifetime. Delayed gratification. When you desire something, it may not be instantly fulfilled. Life wants to teach you how to hold your character even if something is not getting immediately fulfilled. Even if your desires are not immediately met with. You may tend to feel depressed, low, melancholic on the one hand, and on the other hand, you may tend to get aggressive or angry when such a thing happens. But this lifetime, you may have seen an improvement on how you take control over yourself. And I I feel for some of you, a small percentage of you, I do see a possibility that if your desire does not immediately get fulfilled, a few of you may actually take to drinking, even some amount of emotional blackmail to get what you want and not have to wait for what you want. Some of you, in case that is the case, you can comment. Some of you may actually, either go into depression, get lonely, or take to some kind of an addiction to deal with it. So that's the crux. Now let us look into the other aspects. The moon card. You are a creative person. You are also an emotional person. And you're also a kind of person who can indulge in your emotions. Now, the other thing is that you seem to have a strong heart. You seem also to be an intuitive person, a creative person, but also an intuitive person. You could also be, even though this is the characteristic that what I see here in terms of, sorry, in terms of people who sometimes are not able to withhold or be patient before their desires are fulfilled, they may sometimes have a weak heart, but you have a strong heart, you have a strong moon. And such people may actually sometimes be more social, but you do not seem to be a very social person. You seem to be the kind of person who enjoys their own company. However, this is really working for you this lifetime in terms of learning the lessons that you're here to learn. Seven of Coins. Patience is definitely not one of your strong points, and it is hindering the learning of this lesson. Even the inner passions, they rage. Just look at the beauty of the card. Your inner fire is so strong that somewhere or the other it is not allowing you to be patient. It burns so strongly. And even though you are emotionally strong, you may actually be an emotional person. Fighting. And control. Okay. Okay, now what I see here is that you may have a lot of people around you who are really tough nuts to crack. Real tough nuts to crack. People who, on the one hand, can be argumentative, can be really verbose, people who are kind of just, geared up to not flow with you, but stand up against you. People who expect things a certain way, Not only that, people who set out very strong rules and say things have to be like this and that's it. You may be faced with people who are not easy to get along with at all by any means. And that is life's challenge to you. Why? Because somehow or the other, that is facilitating the learning of this lesson. That you should be able to build a character that is stronger than your own desires, than your own lust, desires, greed, any kind of negative base emotions, base desires, which are actually completely human towards the animalish side, but yes, then we are humans, right? And we have those desires. But this life is here to teach you through these people how to rise above such things. Ace of Swords. That's a very cute card to have. You are faced with, you do have your own share of successes in life, which is great. You do have your own share of uh, victories, exaltations in life. You are a strong person. Judgment. The Hangman. Okay. Temperance, of course. The cards are completely aligned with your lessons. Seven of, oh my God, that's crazy. A seven of coins here, seven of pentacles, and another seven of pentacles here. So what I see here is something which is completely aligned to what we would expect. See, what's happening is that where life wants to teach you to control yourself, be stronger than your inner, what would you say, hot, hot passions, if you could call them. So here what happens for you in life is, life says, okay, ding dong, we have successes for you. We have these fantastic things for you. We have these, I'm going to give you this, I'm going to give you that. Life promises you a lot of things. And then, just as you are about to take off, guess what happens? Life says, uh-oh, hold on. Wait for a minute. It's not happening right now. You will have to wait a little. I'm just putting it on hold, whatever you've asked for, the affirmations that you were affirming, I've put it on hold. You have to wait a little. Now, life can get tricky. But why is life doing that to you? Life is doing that to you to teach you exactly the lesson of balance, temperance. Temper yourself down. It is not as though life does not promise you things. Life promises you the best of things and shows you a glimpse of it, but then immediately after it puts it on hold and says, hang on, gain a deeper perspective on what you have asked for. Get a little spiritual. Look at things, turn them around, see them in a new perspective. Just wait it out. Wait for a bit. Hang on. Have patience. And try to be a little more balanced. Take the middle path. This reminds me of Gautam Buddha's middle path. The middle path, the balanced path, none of the extremes. So if you feel that as a child you were a person who ran into extremes, then you would have seen yourself temper yourself down, sober yourself down over the years, over the decades in your life. You must have experienced that. Now you run lesser into extremes and you tend to stay a little closer to the center than you did as a child. Do you feel like that, pile 3? Do you feel you have grown as an individual and you're able to find the middle ground, find the middle path? Let's open the card which you had actually picked for the pile and see what it has for you. Find a place of quiet solitude and listen to the goodness of the moon. Is she calling for more love? Find a place of quiet solitude and listen to the goodness of the moon. Is she calling for more love? So this card, the way I see it, is telling you that it will be easier for you to follow the middle path when you find a quiet place inside your heart, maybe in prayer, maybe in meditation, maybe in solitude, maybe while listening to music, maybe while painting, maybe when you are with any of the creative arts. Everybody has their own way of finding their center point. And that will help you and take you closer to your life purpose. So I hope the reading resonated with you, pile number 3. Please feel free to share your comments. Some of you have already done that, and thank you for the comments. I have been reading them through as I do the reading. Thank you for your lovely comments. And all the best, friends. Bye-bye.